Why Meet the Others podcast? What's this about?
Why are we doing this thing?
Why are we doing this dang thing?
Who the F?
Do we even know what we're doing?
Certainly not.
Oh,
We
no.
just hooked this thing up tonight. We figured out how to use the mics, and now we're recording 10 seconds afterwards. Gives me
Word up.
comfort. So,
I hear you.
yeah. So, anyways, Meet the Others. That's us.
Still waiting on this car to come and take me home. Things feel a little different now that we grown. Till I turn the ass, sure they put my name in stone. Live how I wanna live, cause we die alone.
Hey.
Yo! Welcome to Meet the Others podcast. I'm Anissa B.
And I am Choir Boy Dank. And only good things happen to us, baby.
That was so weak. Do it
I
again.
didn't say the things. I didn't.
Do it again. Do it again.
And I am Choir Boy Dank. Are we going to cut it?
No, we're just leaving it raw.
And I am Choir Boy Dank. And only good things happen to us. To
That's
me.
right.
And you.
And me.
We're both.
All of us.
The others.
The others. Right. Exactly.
Only happen to
To
us.
us.
Yes. There we go.
So, what's up? Good morning.
Good morning. How's everybody feeling?
How's everyone doing today? Shoot.
How are the listeners feeling? The scrollers?
The scrollers? Hopefully, we didn't lose any listeners. Maybe we gained some from last week.
Who knows?
Who knows?
If you're with us, let's get this thing.
Let's do it.
What are we doing? We're talking about some special.
Something special.
We got it. Yeah, we got a guest.
We have a guest.
Yeah, see, that's how, we're living in the now. The manifestation is coming.
Oh, he will be a guest for
Right.
sure. We
We're
will
gonna
make sure of that. Yeah.
Get him on there. So
We're
we have a
definitely-
guest.
yes.
His name is Cudi. And
Yes. We're basically talking about someone who kind of, in a lot of ways, made mental health very mainstream.
right. From the Midwest,
From the Midwest.
from the
shoot.
Cleveland, Shaker Heights outside of Cleveland.
Yes.
So cool guy.
Very cool. Yeah.
Came on the scene
Came on the scenes.
talking about things that you haven't seen,
Exactly. Very males expressing themselves finally.
Right.
Openly.
Mental health
health.
from a, kid trying to figure it out. A man figuring out his way, becoming a man, which is super cool.
Hell yeah.
Very rare in the hip hop space, especially at the time.
So did we even, if you didn't know, it's Kid Cudi.
We've been talking about Kid Cudi.
We're talking about Kid Cudi.
We've done it. So we may be hit or miss. So we got our notes because we've done this podcast a couple times, right? So it's important to know we've done our research.
Yes, we have. I actually listened to the whole entire book.
I got a good way through the book. It was, I don't know. Very inspiring. It felt like listening to the book. It really felt like I was with one of my homies, which
Heck yeah, that was so cool.
The cool thing about him, I get that same feeling from his music.
Right. Well, going back, where were you when you first heard Kid Cudi?
I don't know. It's hard to pinpoint that down because it has been a while, right?
Right.
And it was during the blog era of music where
Was that like around MySpace time, would you say?
yes.
Okay, that was like MySpace
2000
era.
I think it was 2007 2008 time.
Yes,
time
yes,
frame.
yes.
2008 I think is when that tape came out, a kid named Cudi,
Okay.
which is the first time I was introduced to him. The Pursuit of Happiness
Yes.
was the big song, I think, was his first breakout song.
Yes.
Him playing Pat. It was a mixtape they released through 10 Deep, which is crazy to think
I know none of that stuff.
that was such a big clothing line at that time, and for him to get that off, and through Fool's Gold, which was the record label, so it's kind of like an indie project, but indie in the way of like these guys are going to be and are already kind of major players,
Right.
But I remember working at Sam Ash, and some guys from Cleveland around the time when it was just bubbling came up, and they were bumping the shit out of it, and I was like, dude, I know that tape. That's insane that these guys are actually playing it. I don't even know who it was. It could be someone that was connected with him. Could be someone not.
Promoting him.
Yeah, who knows? Freely. But I was like, oh, shit. Because it was such a fresh sound.
It was very fresh. It was different for sure. Did it give you like, what would you say like that? Like, I'm the type of person that when I listen to music, I get really like emotionally connected with it. I listen to the words and all that stuff. Was like your feelings emotionally when you heard, I don't know, did you hear Day and Night first? Which one did you?
Day and Night was the first one.
Yeah, that was the first
Pursuit
one.
of Happiness. Yeah, that's right.
Day and Night. Did you like where was like your emotional feelings with that song, would you say?
I mean, I felt like I was Kid Cudi.
Right.
The thing is I don't normally get so emotionally attached to all the music that I listen to. But there was something about what he was doing. Like in that first video, I think he was like walking down the street, smoking weed in New York. And
I don't even know that there's a video for that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And it had like cartoony stuff. It was almost like he was in
like a trip.
Yes.
Ooh, the song definitely sounds like that.
Right.
You know, like,
and that dude, him and Rat-a-tat had such a dope like musical connection. Their sound was so like connected at one point that was like, amazing. It was very cool of a time. And like, yeah, I just felt like.
So you were in Sam Ash in New York City.
Yeah. So that was cool because I felt like, here's this like kind of Midwesty kid.
Right.
Kind of in New York.
Right.
Figuring it out, doing his thing.
Super
and
relatable.
Like he was like fashion forward, which is cool to see. Like he was like, but in his own way, it wasn't like, he definitely wasn't doing the New York fashion. It wasn't like Averex and Tim's.
Right.
It was like some like cool, like New York kind of Brooklyn-y kind of thing.
Yes.
So
edgy.
Cool. Edgy in a way. Yeah. Like it was like the 10 Deep Crooks and Castles kind of era. Karma Loop was big. All of that like kind of bubbling kind of deal. And Bape, obviously he was Bape. I mean, Bape was big.
Hell yeah.
And he was a big Bape fan, and you could see that Kid Robot, all of those kind of influences. And that was another cool thing about him. He was so like art adjacent. Like all his stuff was like I remember reading an article in some magazine, XXL or something. He's like, I drew all my own tattoos. Like he's like, he was very.
Well, he just didn't want to be like the man in the room, like he was
like the cookie cutter.
He wanted to be himself.
And that's what's so inspiring, and that's why we
are picking him.
That's why he's part of the Meet the Others,
the vault of the others,
right? So
definitely.
What was your first time listening to it when you first heard?
So I had no idea, but my what do you call the very first thing that came out with the Apple stuff?
iTouch, was it? Or the
iPod. The iPod.
Right.
Yeah. I had the gold one. I had all the versions, but this one was the gold one, and I remember that very, very like vividly.
Was it the tall, like rectangular one?
It was the one that was like this thin. It was like the mini, and it was gold, and it had like the circle with the screen that was like green. So it wasn't like colorful or anything, but I just remember I was working. I had just gotten a really good job, and I was pretty young, and I was also in school. So like my days and my nights were always crazy, and like I would just listen to whatever was downloaded into my iPod.
Oh, so you didn't even download it?
I didn't download it. It was already downloaded in my iPod. Like someone else downloaded music into my iPod and was like, these are good songs to have, kind of thing. So I was just on the train, and I heard this song, and I was like, at that time I was so overwhelmed. So like my feelings was like, I was already overwhelmed with just having to juggle being a single mom,
right,
going to school, working a full-time job. And so when I was listening to it on the train, a lot of times it would just like connect to me, because I'm like day and night, like day and night, like this shit is all day and all night. And at that time I had moved to Riverdale, so my commute was like an hour and a half long, and the whole entire like whatever songs he had at that time were all on my iPod.
Dope.
So but Day and Night was like one of those songs, like I felt like, oh my god, like I felt like, am I gonna ever like succeed? Like he gave me these weird, like cause I'm very much a person who likes to connect with my music and I listen to the words and I'm like, I could get emotional about a song and I'm like, dude, this is like, will I ever, like I've struggled with mental health all my life as well. So like, I'm like, will I ever, you know, do good,
like break through.
Like this is how his music would make me feel. Like I was like, I'm in that, I'm there with you, buddy. Like we're the same person.
Yeah, he has a certain way of those songs really did connect to a whole generation, really, I think, in that way where it was like, this guy's relatable, and it's like you almost align yourself with that story.
Right.
And yeah, like he's like has these like kind of nightmares and goes through these things and is very theatrical.
Yes, always. It seems like he always has been. Right,
which I love about it.
Yeah.
Because it really kind of takes you on a story. And it is like his projects are very album, like they're good. Like he puts together good projects.
Yes.
Where it's not 100%. Where he has amazing singles, but then they fit within this like world, right?
Right.
And I think that there's something about that time. It's hard to even replicate that time and place where you did have an iPad or iPod or whatever, and the screen was nothing.
Right.
So you're like, or also being in like the New York Shuffle, having 45 minutes or whatever, just to be with your music. Because if you're involved in all the shit going on in the subway.
And your screen, and you're looking at your screen and all that, you're not focused on the hearing of the music.
Right.
Appreciating it.
And the other thing is like, a lot of times when you're doing those trips, you're really trying to block everybody out. Because there's a bunch of nonsense happening on the
so much going on the subway.
So it's like, I really am just trying to like have my little peace time. And you get to really live with the music.
Yes.
Which is nice.
It is nice. It is nice. I miss those times.
Right.
Sometimes.
Because you really, and the cool thing about it is, you know, sometimes not being in a city that has that type of commute, like the built-in commute.
Right.
You lose that like dead time. There's a lot of value to that dead time because you're like, well, I really can't do anything. So
I'm underground.
I got no internet. I can't be sending emails.
Right.
Nothing like that. So I'm just going to
focus,
take this time and really dig in.
Right.
Which is nice.
Yes. I've spent many times, whether it was listening to music or doing homework or reading a book, you know, chatting with my little guy when he was little, you know, things like that. Just, but with Kid Cudi, I definitely spent a lot of train rides with him until I like memorized songs. I cried many times listening to his songs because of how inspirational he was. And at that time, I really didn't have much of a knowledge of him. Like I didn't know his struggles, how deep they were. Like I was like, this artist seems so fucking sad. But I was like, but you know, you think of performers as performers, like that's just a mask. But when you when we've done some research on him,
read the book and
you find out there's so many layers to his art. And that's what makes it so amazing. Like he struggled with addiction, you know, like alcohol was a problem for him. And I was like,
and his dad early in his life.
Yeah, like his dad.
The death of his dad.
The death of his dad, the death of his cousin, I believe it was.
Right.
Like he had many losses, and that shit also put him in such a deep, dark depression. Like when my aunt died, The Pursuit of Happiness, that song, is that the song? Is it Pursuit of Happiness or this?
Yeah.
Yeah. That song had me cry so much, you know, because losing my aunt, my world was like, is it, no. Is that it? Or is it Story of My Life?
Oh, that is, I think that one you're talking about is Story of My Life. Yeah.
That one.
That Story of My Life.
That shit.
No one else can sing.
See, I was devastated, and like I listened to that song over and over again.
Yeah, and it's dope because those like kind of like isolated vibes that he was able to kind of, you know, put into his music,
right,
was able to connect to so many people, which is such a crazy thing.
Yes,
which is so dope.
Yeah, and so for me, that was the other cool thing about it, was like, that was my train ride, like,
right,
with him, listening to him and stuff like that, and just the addiction, dealing with addiction, and how much, he opened up the door for other artists to be able to speak about mental health.
Yeah, mental health in a real way that felt natural and felt like you had someone that was going through it, that was like kind of with you. Like it's one thing to get preached to. It's another thing to have someone be like, yo, bro, we're in the mud together.
Right.
Or even just being like, yo, I'm in the mud. This is tough.
Because he spoke that out loud like a diary. Right. And he opened that to us all.
Right. Which, as a man, and like, whatever, just like as a person growing up in the Midwest, it's almost like, toughen up,
right?
Keep it tucked in.
Are you spit on the cut?
Yeah. Are you bleeding? If not, then you got nothing to cry about.
Right.
Yeah. Put dirt on your wounds and move on and be a man. And it was different to hear someone really like being like, bro, not everything's always easy. And it was just such one, it had its own sound. Two, to hear that in like a rap lane,
right,
was really not really heard of. Really,
not something that anyone did.
Which I think that Kanye kind of put a little bit of that in a couple years earlier, but Cudi really like kicked that door open.
Yes, 100%.
And it really kind of changed so much. It really was like a path in a way for people to relate and understand that they're not alone, and two, for other artists to kind of put a little bit more of that into their stuff. I mean, literally, I don't know, maybe 7 years, 5, 7, it grew into a place where like whole genres, like emo rap as a genre was a whole thing after that, which I can't help but think that he had a little bit of
a decent portion of contributing to that.
He went in the jungle and macheted some path out there for that,
For sure.
So that's so dope.
Yes.
He deserves the flowers for that, at least.
Yes, for sure.
So
for sure.
And the cool thing about reading his book is we talked about this before, was we kind of are of a very similar age.
Yes. He's in 84.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he had so many of these references and influences that I was like, bro, yes. Like Sonic on the Game Gear, or In Living Color.
Yes.
And like how much he thought that like Jim Carrey's little skits were so hilarious. I mean, I remember a time when I was a kid and I'd go to school and just like quote straight In Living Color skits.
Yes.
Like for the whole, like I would wait to go on Monday to be like, yo, I'm going to kind of like, I'm going to basically reuse all of Jim Carrey's jokes that I just heard.
Right.
And it was cool to see that like, one, this guy that I related to like emotionally and like in like a bunch of different other ways. After I read the book, it was like, oh man, we had a lot of the same kind of experiences.
Yes. A lot of them.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
It was cool to.
I thought that was cool as well.
Yeah, it was just weird because it was like, dang, okay.
I felt like I was there with him sometimes. I was like, yo, I feel like I'm in his classroom and stuff. Like, for sure. I was like, this guy we would have been really good friends. Like, for sure. I would want to hang out with him. I would want to ride a bike, do a bunch of like kid stuff. Like,
I'd be trying to sit at the same table.
Right.
At the lunchroom.
Right. Exactly. I thought it was also cool in the book of how much of a MVP is his mom. Like his mom was a very strong woman on so many levels. And, I felt like she always supported him and was always there for him. And I thought that was such an amazing bond, Yeah.
And it's really cool about that because you hear that in his music. Right.
Yeah.
And you go, oh man, like his mom like put on and could get the Christmas present. And who knows how she could have done it. And like he gives that respect to his mom, but then to see kind of like effectively how she showed up for him at school and different things, and was like, they were like close,
very close.
So you go, oh man, which almost gives you another layer of just like, this guy's really putting the real deal in this music.
Yes. And also, I know that he also struggled with anxiety, suicidal thoughts, and all that stuff. And that stuff was, I think, when we were young, you know, a lot of times the world was so heavy on us. And to hear that, it's even more of like how much of like relatable he was. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think that, you know, those thoughts just come around sometimes. And I think that it's valuable to know that, like, because I think that if there was a point in time in the world where like talking about that stuff was so taboo and it was like, you're crazy, you're going to go to the
mental health, mental ward once you talk about that.
And once you start talking about that sort of thing, and it was cool to see someone that was like open enough to kind of break down that and go, no, I feel that way too. And I'm still kind of trucking along.
Right.
And you go, okay, well, I'm not just crazy and I just have to jump off a bridge. Yeah. I'm crazy and I can walk across this bridge. Here.
Right. Right. Exactly.
So yeah, that's cool.
No, yeah. So yeah, we thought it was important to just kind of crack in a little bit of Kid Cudi. If you haven't read the book, I think it's
just Cudi.
It's a super cool book. The coolest part about that book is the fact that it's all illustrated by him.
Yeah, the cover.
Which is really awesome. Like, the cover is illustrated by him. I did not have the hard cover, like the hard book. I would love to get it because I would love to pick it up and read it. So I don't know if there's any illustrations in the book, but I did hear it while I would like work out and stuff.
Right.
I definitely think it was a book that you should check out, listen to, you know, when you have some time and you kind of want to get to know an artist, because that was something that was very interesting to learn about him and stuff like that. So yeah, we felt like it was necessary to come back around.
Yeah, I think that this is just going to be the first installment, because really I just think that there's so much to dive into, you know, with the art and the acting and all of these things. It's like, you know, we're creatives here and we get excited about other creatives and people 100%. That kind of, you know, walk their own path. And that's really what we think is important to talk about, because in the same way that Cudi talked about the mental health stuff, it's just cool to know that there's other people out there really pushing forward on their dreams, pushing forward on their creative endeavors and the things that, you know, is in your mind. Like, it's there for a reason. And we're just here to encourage you that you got to go for it. You got to do it. There's other people that did it in their life at every different phase of their life, early, young, late, with no money, with money. We're here to just shine a light on those stories. And, you know, Kid Cudi is just one of many. So it's cool to. And
also, if you guys are struggling with mental health, it is very important to realize that you are not alone. And you can overcome it. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. I don't care how corny that sounds. There is a light. If you need help, you seek help. Don't feel ashamed. Don't be embarrassed that you need some help mentally. You know, there's always support somewhere. Yes, there's judgment, but fuck that. I'd rather hear your story than, you know, hear your like eulogy or anything like that. If you feel down, depressed, you know, anything like that, definitely something that I want you guys to know. Like, we're always here.
Right.
We love to hear survival stories. We love to hear overcoming addiction.
We love to hear depression. In the middle of it, because honestly, that's where the change happens.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Like, even if you're day one, you know, it's like that meme that you see, day one of not yelling at my kid. Like, it's like, even if you're day one of trying to like get your mind in the right place and not, and, you know, just unpack that crap. Day one is a beautiful day.
It is indeed.
You know,
so, well, thank you guys for listening. This is Meet the Others podcast.
Until next time.
Peace. why Meet the Others podcast. What's this about?
Why are we doing this thing?
Why are we doing this dang thing?
Who the F?
Do we even know what we're doing?
Certainly not.
Oh,
we
no.
just hooked this thing up tonight. We figured out how to use the mics, and now we're recording 10 seconds afterwards. Gives me comfort. So,
I hear you.
Yeah. So, anyways, Meet the Others. That's us.
Still waiting on this car to come and take me home. Things feel a little different now that we grown. Till I turn the ass, sure they put my name in stone. Live how I wanna live, cause we die alone.
What do you think of that?